Speaking of bigger books, this is not a big book. This is a small book. I'm still counting it as a challenge, even though I kind of asked for it. How did January just disappear? Hello Lovely Bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise of Pages on Instagram and also on Twitter, and welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books I want to read in February. Starting off, I can't believe we're already in February. How did January just disappear? Maybe because it's my birthday month, it just goes a lot faster. My birthday is on the 11th, and it always feels like everything is like flying by. That said, I am going to be talking about the books that I want to read in February, which I already mentioned. But before I do want to mention that I'm only going to be putting 5 books on here. I want to keep my TBRs possible. Because I'm such a mood reader, I kind of want to leave a little bit of space for books that I really want to read. I want to start off with the book that Femke is challenging me this month. Though I can't really call it a challenge because I specifically asked her if I can read this one. I know that she would have challenged me to read this one eventually, so, you know, it's like half good, okay? I'm still counting it as a challenge, even though I kind of asked for it. That said, the book I'm talking about is Kingsbane by Claire Legrand. This has been on my TBR ever since I got it over the summer. I am now, I started it. I am 3 chapters in, which is like 26 pages, so only 500 more to go. But I am positive that I can finish it this month, or at least I hope I can. Next up, I want to talk about my book club book of the month, and that's going to be a reread for me. As some of you may know, I am hosting a book club called the Whimsical Book Club. I'll put a link to their Instagram down below so you can check all of the rules and everything down there. Otherwise, you can just send me a message. You can always just still join if you're seeing this video and you're like, I want to read this book, or reread this book in my case. You can always join. And the book I'm talking about is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I already read this one a couple of years ago, so I'm actually kind of excited to reread it. I really remember loving it, so I think I'm gonna like it the second time I'm gonna read it as well. And from what I remember, it was also a pretty quick read, so I'm happy to have this in between some bigger books. Speaking of bigger books, this is not a big book. This is a small book, but I still want to read it this month. And that is Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean. This has been on my TBR for a long time as well. I think I got this one over the summer as well. And I just think that with the whole Empress thing, I think this is going to be like a desert feel kind of book. And if you know me, you know I love that. And I think this would be a nice read somewhere in between. Then we are talking about a very big book, and that is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I'm dying over here. I read the first 2 books in this trilogy, I think last year, and I really want to read this one because I believe this is the last one of the trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. And I'm just so excited to see what will happen with my babies. I know that Thunderhead really left me on a big high, and I need to know what is happening. So I really want to read The Toll this month. I absolutely love this series, and I think that this one might be the best yet. Very excited to finish this one. And considering this one is a really big book, or at least in my books, wow, Esmay, great. I put a few smaller books in between. Then last but certainly not least is also the last book in a trilogy, and that is The Triumphant by Leslie Livingston. I read The Valiant and The Defiant last year and the year before respectively, and I really want to know what is happening, you know, how this story ends, and I'm just excited to see what will happen. It's always action-packed and filled with intrigue, so very excited to pick this one up. If you ever make videos, do you know that moment where you just talk way too fast because you get excited and then screw it up multiple times, so I have to do it all over and over and over again? That is my life. Anyway, those were all the books that I've put on my TBR for February. I do have to say that I'm not going to be very strict on these books. If I really feel like reading something else, I'm going to read something else. If I feel like rereading something, I'm going to reread something. That said, I'm really in the mystery detective kind of high right now, so I'm very excited to read more Agatha Christie books. But I can always do that in between here, you know? So I'm quite positive that I will get to these. These are all books that I really want to read. so I'm sure they will be read somewhere this year. I said this with the Poppy War as well, and I'm still not finished with that one, but you know. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. Give us a thumbs up, and also let me know what you would like to read in February. I'm always interested to see what other people are reading, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye!